Delayed cord clamping, also called optimal cord clamping, and that is where the cord is not clamped until well, delayed cord clamping could be, so ACOG, the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists, finally caught up with what midwives have known. In December of 2016, they came out with new guidelines for delayed cord clamping, and they are recommending it now. So normally a cord is clamped within seconds of the baby coming out, within 5 seconds, 5 to 15 seconds. And so with ACOG's new guidelines, their definition of delayed cord clamping is 60 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds. But a lot can happen in 30 to 60 seconds. Now, that's delayed cord clamping. Dr. Green, who I have his TEDx talk that I'm gonna send you guys the link to, it's 18 minutes long, so we're not gonna watch it here. But he talks about optimal cord clamping. And so optimal cord clamping is, really, I mean, in his talk, he just says 90 seconds, but it's really when the cord stops pulsing and you can actually see and feel that there's no more blood pulsing from the placenta into the baby. And there was a lot of, I have links for you guys too. There was some research on that. Earlier the doctors used to think that, if you let the baby get the cord blood, that they would be more jaundice, and that it would cause problems. And there might be some truth to that, but that kind of jaundice is not actually harmful. It's nothing that babies can't work through. And then so I brought this, so I also gave you Penny Simpkins' video too, where she does the same exact thing. Her video is only 5 minutes long, but just to show you guys, so this is 450 milliliters, and that's how much blood is shared between the placenta and the baby. And so when the baby is first born, and the baby first comes out, and if the cord is clamped immediately, for an average size baby, that's 450. This is what's in the baby, this is what's left in the placenta, this much blood. So if you're only talking about an average size baby, about like 8 pounds, it's this much blood missing. So I don't know, I think every placenta is a different size and works at a different speed. So I don't know how much blood that our baby would be getting at the 60-second mark, versus letting it pulse out, say, for 5 minutes. But, even if you gave them like an extra 60 seconds, and it's pulsing, they're gonna be getting some of their blood.
So to make it clear, just if someone had missed, as the cord pulses, that's blood going from the placenta to the baby?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's this much blood. Usually about 150 milliliters will still be in the placenta. So I'm a placenta encapsulator, and I actually get excited when I get placentas that don't have a lot of blood, because I know that means that possibly that's because the baby got the blood. So I just wanted to show you guys the visual of how much could be missing.
So it's like a natural blood transfusion.
Yeah.
Really.
And there's a lot of really good stuff in there, and a lot of people right now are doing cord blood banking because they want the stem cells. They want to save them because science is finding ways to use them. But a lot of people believe that the baby why not give the baby the stem cells at birth? This way they'll have them. So there's actually a lot of studies on optimal and delayed cord clamping that not only show the benefits to the baby immediately, but there are studies, let's see, there are studies, they follow children all the way up to 4 years of age. And they actually found that there are neurodevelopmental benefits In one study, researchers found that a couple of extra minutes touching the umbilical cord at birth may translate into a small boost in neurodevelopment several years later. Children whose cords were cut more than 3 minutes after birth had slightly higher social skills and fine motor skills than those whose cords were cut within 10 seconds. The results showed no difference in IQ though. So I have the study on that for you guys to see. Some of the other benefits of it are increased iron stores, decreasing the risk for anemia. Baby will receive the complete retinue of clotting factors. In other words, the increased volume of blood will naturally increase blood platelet levels, which are needed for normal blood clotting, which kind of goes back to the vitamin K. It might not be vitamin K, but in other ways it helps with the clotting. Delayed clamping also results in the infusion of stem cells, which play an essential role in the development of the immune, respiratory, cardiovascular, and central nervous system, among many other functions. The concentration of stem cells in the fetal blood is higher than at any other time in life. Immediate cord clamping leaves nearly 1/3 of blood, which is what I showed you. I told you about the neurodevelopmental, also increased blood volume, smoother cardiopulmonary transition. So whether a baby is premature or full term, approximately 1/3 of its total blood volume resides in the placenta. This is equal to the volume of blood that will be needed to fully perfuse the fetal lungs, liver, and kidneys at birth. So they're talking about, the cardio, the heart, breathing, all of that. So all of these are benefits to it. There's something else that they're doing. So some of the docs kind of caught on to this, it's called milking the cord. So rather than letting it pulse, they'll take the cord and they'll manually milk the cord. And so there's been studies on that I think in premature babies who had their cords milked, that they did better. But in terms of is cord milking better than just letting it pulse in itself, the studies showed that there was really no difference in those two, but that, advocates for gentle birth say that, if that's how nature does it, why rush it, why not let it, that it's a more gentle way to just let it pulse rather than milking the cord. But, if a lot of times when I'm dueling in the hospital, they'll say, well, we can let you have delayed cord clamping unless the baby's not doing well. We have to bring the baby right over to the warmer, then we won't be able to do that for you. So we just want to let you know ahead of time. In that case, then that's when you can discuss with the doctor or the midwife about cord milking. Because if they're really insistent on taking the baby because the baby's not breathing well and they want to do everything all the way on the other side of the room, you could talk to them beforehand about at least just milking the cord. Even if they just milked it, a few times, the baby would be getting more than if they weren't. So that's also another option or something to discuss with your care provider, or tell your clients to discuss with their care provider. They, in a C-section, pretty much, they usually don't do the delayed cord clamping. However, since ACOG came out with the new guidelines, I think that we're going to see more OBs trying it. And I actually attended a birth in February, and it was a C-section. She wanted to be back, but she went post dates, and so they told her she needed to have a C-section. And they did. It was the first ever C-section delayed cord clamping at Stony Brook University Hospital.
Wow.
And I know that the head midwife over there is, she actually said that she was giving a presentation on it. And I think she even took some pictures and asked the mom for permission. And I believe the presentation was to other care providers. So I think at least at Stony Brook, the word is starting to spread, I mean.
I just had a client had a birth there, and